Howdy folks, welcome to the channel, Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I have a gift request from none other than Renee Mooberry from Louisiana, currently in Vegas, as you know. Buck and I thank you, Miss Renee, for this gift and request, and it's a new song of Blake's, Let Him In Anyway, and Renee said, hey Don, this is a new one by Blake Shelton. Hardy wrote this song and sent it to Blake for him to record. So we're going to find out. And I kind of have a history with one of Blake's CDs because somebody that I know that I was very, very close with, Lindsay Wallerman was her name. She passed away about 12 years ago. But she worked for Warner Nashville, and she lived in Chicago. But she was the Northeast radio rep, and she sent me Blake's CD that I did not have. I didn't ask for it. She just sent it to me. And she let me know that one of the songs on that album was her favorite, which it was not my favorite, but it's called The Baby. And I reacted to it and all that stuff. But there are a lot of good songs on that CD. So whenever I see Blake's name, it always harkens back to that period of my life. It was a wonderful period in my life. So anyhow, Let Him In Anyway. We're going to see what this one's about. Thank you, Renee, for this. Never know. Pretty imagery.
Ain't it a scary thing when somebody's time here ends, laying flowers on their grave, wondering where their soul went? I tried and I tried, he was starting to listen. I brought him to church, he was feeling conviction, but you took him away before I could convince him. So I'm here on my knees saying, hey God, I know you know what I'm about to pray. God, I just had to suck it up and say goodbye to my best friend. And I don't ever want to never see him again. And I know the only way to get in is through you. And he wasn't quite the Christian he was supposed to be. And Lord, it ain't my place, but could you let...
I'm going to guess this is a true story, and maybe it was too powerful for Hardy to sing himself, so he gave it to Blake. I have no clue if that's true or not. This might just be like a generic song. Great story, and Hardy's creative brain came up with the lyrics and the storyline and the narrative and all that. And today, Blake, this is better for you than for me. I don't know, but this kind of seems to be like it's a real story, like for somebody.
Let him in anyway.
Yeah, that's a nice heart.
I can't imagine the day on my heart's last beat when I walk through those gates and he ain't waiting on me. All I needed was a little more time, I swear. I was so dang close, it ain't fair. So hey God, I know you know what I'm about to pray. God, I just had to suck it up and say goodbye to my best friend. I don't ever want to never see him again. And I know the only way to get it is through you. And he wasn't quite the Christian he was supposed to be. And Lord, it ain't my place, but could you let him in anyway? 'Cause he was gonna let you in any day. And I'm just asking for a miracle. But hey God, I know you know what I'm about to pray. God, I just had to suck it up and say goodbye to my best friend. And I don't ever want to never see him again. And I know the only way to get it is through you. And he wasn't quite the Christian he was supposed to be. And Lord, it ain't my place. Could you let him in anyway? Could you let him in anyway?
Yeah, I could actually do this for my other channel where I discuss like relationships and I discuss theology and so on. But this is one of those songs where there's so many ways of viewing it. But I first start with the heart, like when somebody's hurting. And we have our ways in which we conceptualize heaven, or how do you get in? Is heaven up there somewhere? Do you take on some kind of new form that's like not physical? That brings in other things like how do you recognize somebody else, up there, and all this kind of stuff. Or if we do just get new bodies and we're up there in some other place, what bodies are they? Are they the bodies of when we were 18? Is it when we were 32? You pick a number. I don't know. There's a lot that we don't know, but the heart behind just missing somebody, like your best friend. I mean, I lost a good friend, and when I was 18, Ricky, and I lost somebody who I was very close with, and Lindsay, that I talked about at the beginning of this one. From the time that she told me that she had been diagnosed with cancer, with a sarcoma, synovial sarcoma. It was 10 weeks later. She was no longer with us. And it's still, there are certain people who passed away in life. When my buddy Ricky passed, it's still how many years later now? 45 years later? And it's just pain, it's just, what would life have been like if he'd been here all along? We were basketball buddies, and he had a good heart. He's a tough guy, but he had a good heart. And we were just sort of like an odd couple in ways, because I was not a tough guy, but I was a decent ball player, basketball. He was decent. He was a good basketball player, and he and I had a bet going against two other guys that we never got to fulfill. It was $100 bet. And to this day, anybody who knows, it was Ricky and me against Ronnie and Art, and it wouldn't even have been that close. We would have won that one quite easily. So you remember vignettes like this. And so Hardy, who wrote this song, I'm assuming this happened to somebody, unless he knows Blake personally pretty well and knows that this happened to Blake and decided to write a song for Blake. I don't know. But we've all lost somebody from an earlier time in life, and the heart behind asking God, could you my friend wasn't the Christian. And I'm not a big fan of labels in this way, because it isn't like being kind, good, thoughtful is the province of one religion, one denomination. I have a lot of Jewish friends that are absolutely right up there with the absolute most beautiful people I know. So I'm not big on labels or categories. I know it goes that way. I know religion works that way and so on. But the heart behind this is, look, I can't imagine never seeing my buddy again. And I know, I'm still close with Lindsay's mom and dad. They live in Michigan. And I can't imagine what it would be like for her. I have another friend of mine, and Maria and I talk maybe once a year, but we're still very, very close heart-wise. And she lost her daughter 20 years ago when her daughter was 8. And Maria cannot fathom never seeing her child again. And I cannot fathom what that would be like. Just can't. So this song represents that. These are all the things that sort of go through my head when I hear and feel a song like this. So, Renee, I'm not going to rate this one. I hope that doesn't disappoint you, but I really do think that this is a true story in honor of somebody. And it would just, to me, it wouldn't be sacrilegious, but it would be, I don't know. I just might be in poor taste for me to go that route to say, oh, this was, a 9.3, and his friend's life is worth more than that. You know what I mean? So it is beautiful. So thank you. And you always amaze me with your vast knowledge of what goes on out there in the world. Sometimes I worry what I'm getting into, and other times I'm like, oh, wow, this is good. And I'm glad that you shared this one with everybody, because everybody can relate to this. Everybody. So, all right, guys. You can thank Renoozles for that one. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.
Lord, it ain't my place, but could you let him in anyway?